Hello there, welcome to the fourth challenge, which is note theory. Hopefully you got on with the rhythm okay. Let me know if you got any questions. Let's have a look at the next challenge. So, what is note theory? Well, it's all about understanding your string names and understanding the notes along your fretboard on the guitar. So, why is this important? Well, we use our notes on the fretboard for a lot of things, okay? First of all, if we know our notes up our fretboard, then we know where to go for particular chords, for particular scales, which we'll move on to on the next challenge, for arpeggios, for soloing, for all sorts of different things, okay, that are really, really important. If I, for example, can do an A chord here, I know that I have an A on my E string on the top string of my guitar, which is called the root note. So I can also play an A bar chord up here. And it gives a different sound. It's the same pitch, but it's a different sound to that. Or I could even do it all the way up here. Yeah, so completely different sound. And it means that this is really interesting. If musicians know that their note theory, then they can play together much easier. So when you go to a jam session, often you'll have musicians with each other and one will say, right, we're going to play in the key of A minor. Okay, brilliant. Guitarist's going to go for an A minor scale. The rhythm guitarist will play an A minor chord progression and change the chords in that key. The bass guitar might do an A minor walking bass line, maybe use an arpeggio or something like that. And the drummer's going to do what the drummer does. And then they can jam, and they can do that for hours and hours on end. Okay, so and it's all because they understand how music theory works. Okay, so it's really, really important. Okay. I know the diagram on the second page with all the notes and the letters right now may look a little bit daunting, but don't worry, number one, I'm not going to get you to learn all that straight away. And number two, we're going to break it down and make it easier to understand. So let's begin. First thing to understand on our note theory is our string names. Okay, the string names go from top to bottom. Top string here, the fixed string. You've got E, A, D, G, B, E. Yeah, now to remember these string names, I like to use a mnemonic. My favourite one is the top one on that page. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie, because he blew himself up. So, there are other mnemonics that we can use as well. Elephants and donkeys grow big ears. Eat or day, get big easy. Perhaps you could make up your own. Yeah? It doesn't matter what you use as long as you remember the string names E, A, D, G, B, E. Now another cool thing about knowing the string names is back to our chords that we did. E chord, A chord, D chord, G chord. They go from the letters of those chords. So if I play an E chord, it actually starts with the letter E because it's an E string. If I play an A chord, it starts from the A string. If I play a D chord, it starts from the D string. So the starting letter is what we call the root note. Yeah, it's usually the lowest note in the chord. The first note that we hit is the letter of the chord that we're playing. G, what about G? Because that does start on the top string, which is the E string. But actually, our second finger is on the third fret, okay, on the E string. And if you look at that diagram, the third fret of the E string is the letter G. So it actually does start on a G. Okay, so a little bit of theory for you there. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie, or whatever you want to use. See if you can memorize your string names. Okay, that's task number one. Task number two. Let's have a look at our notes on the fretboard. So first of all, we need to understand about music theory. So the musical alphabet only goes from the letter A to G. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You'll notice there's a little piano on there. I like to use a piano as a reference because you can see it quite clearly. It goes from the letters, all the white notes are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way up. It's the same all the way, okay? If you've seen my Tony's Tuition website, you'll see my slogan for Tony's Tuition is "Don't fret, learn with me, guitar tuition from A to G." See, I like my puns like that. Okay, so that is our musical alphabet. Now you do have black notes in between those main letters. These are called sharps and flats. We don't need to know about these right this moment. So let's have a look. We have A to G all the way across. And what your task is going to be for this first challenge on your notes, okay, is not the first challenge, second challenge. First challenge is to learn your string names, memorize them. Second challenge is going to be to memorize the position of the main letters on your E string, just your E string. E string's one of the most commonly used for the root note, okay? So it's the most important one, and it's the top one, so it's the one that we're going to begin with. So this is how it works. I use my inlays, fret markers, or spots as they may be on your guitar, for a reference. So I have the open string, which is my letter E. As we know, Eddie at Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. So it's going to start on the letter E. Okay, our fret 1, first spot, or you might not have a fret spot on fret 1, not all guitars do, is the letter F. Okay, then you go up to the next spot, which is the letter G. Okay, now this is quite nice and easy. You're just following the spots at the moment. The next spot is the letter A. Of course, when we get to G, we go back round to A. Okay, so you've got E, F, G, then A. The next spot is B. That's dead easy. So far, we've just followed the spots all the way along, haven't we? So E is open, then 1, 2, 3, 4 spots is our next 4 letters. So E, then F, G, A, B. Okay, so this is where it changes. C and D are not on the spot. They're actually either side the 9th spot. Okay, the 9th fret. So your B and C are actually right next to each other. So B, then C, then D is the other side of that fret. C, D. And finally, on your double dot right at the top, you're back round to the letter E. So the reason why these are odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then this is 12, the even number, why is that the odd one out? It's because it's what we call the octave, and the octave is when you get from the lower letter to the higher letter that is the same letter. Yeah, so when you go around, so E to E is going up an octave, or it could go E to E, and that would be going down an octave. Yeah, so it's my special one, it's my octave. So if I went to my 12 on all of these strings, I'd have my string names: E, A, D, G, B, E. Voila. Okay, so that is your fret positions for your letters. Now what you want to do is keep going over that consistently. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. You want to get yourself as comfortable with it as you can, because you want to get to a point where I can say, okay, where's A? There. Where's D? There. Where's B? There. Where's F? There. Yeah, you want to be able to get to them quite quickly. Okay, so that is our letters. Now, if you have a look at the next page, okay, you'll see a sheet that says finding notes on your E string. Okay, so this is, you'll notice some words there, and what I've done is I've made it a little bit fun, a little bit of a game. You're going to use your letters on your E string to spell words. Okay, so we have the words face, calf or cafe, badge, and caged. Okay, so if you spell them on the guitar, you're going to hear what they sound like. So we go F-A-C-E, F-A-C-E, F-A-C-E. Bit of an ominous face. So that's what the word face sounds like. And then we've got calf, so we're going to start the opposite way around. Right, I'm going to go C first, then A, then F, and because I'm going down, I'm going to go to my E on my open string. E, calf. Okay, so have a go. See if you can spell those words. Yeah, spell badge and caged as well. Have some fun with those, and then let's have a look at our sharps and flats. So pause the video, and then let me explain sharps and flats, which is the next one. There. Okay, so hopefully you had a go at that and you've gotten yourself comfortable with it. The next thing we're going to have a look at is the sharps and flats. So these are the black notes in between our main letters. Okay, and they're on the piano, they're on the guitar. These notes, this musical language is universal across all musical instruments. Okay, so sharps and flats. If I take the letter A, this is my example of how we find it. This is why we don't learn the position of each sharp and flat, because there's one simple rule we use to find them. If I take my letter A and I go up 1 fret, that is called going sharp. I'm sharpening my A. So that is an A sharp. If I go the opposite way and go down 1 fret, A, it's called A flat. Now, I know this is going up to the head of the guitar and down to the body of the guitar, but I'm talking in terms of pitch here. What we hear, it goes down as you go towards the head, and it goes up as you go towards the body. Okay? So, you have A, if I go up, it's A sharp. A, if I go down, it's A flat. Think flattening a balloon. You flatten a balloon, it's going to go down. Yeah? Okay, if I go to my G, follow the same rule. I go up, it's a G sharp. If I go to G and go down, it's a G flat. Okay, so it follows the same rule across all those letters. Okay, that means that every sharp and flat actually has both a sharp and flat. Yeah? So if I go to my A and go up 1, it's A sharp. But what if I go to my B and go down 1? It's a B flat. Yeah? You'll notice on the sheet that a sharp has the hashtag symbol and a flat has the little B symbol. That's how we say a sharp and a flat, or how we write it down. So then you'll notice at the bottom of the sheet there are some sharps and flats for you to have a go at. So we've got F sharp, so we'd find the F and we'd go up 1. A sharp, we find the A and go up 1. B sharp, now that's an interesting one. If I go to my B and I go up 1, surely I have the letter C, because B and C are next to each other, aren't they? Yes, you're absolutely right. That is B and that is C. However, the same rule applies. Okay, so if I want to sharpen my B, it's still in the same place. It's a B sharp or it's the letter C. If I want to C and flatten my C, C flat, it just takes my C and goes down to B. So C flat and B are the same, or B sharp and C are the same. Yeah, same with F flat and E sharp. Yeah, so there's a few of those on there. Let's go to the second line at the end. We've got B flat, so I'll find my B and I'll go down 1. That's my B flat. Hopefully that all makes sense to you. Have a go, see if you can find all those sharps and flats. You could even have a go at the words phase, cafe, badged and caged, and you could sharpen or flatten them, whichever way you want to do. Play around with that. There is a useful tool that I use called Brainscape, which if you would like the link to, I will happily send you an email. However, you can just have a look on the website, go to brainscape.com, type in Tony's Tuition and my lessons will come up. On there, we have a bunch of digital flashcards, and these digital flashcards are there, and they ask you all the kind of questions that we've been going through. Lots from the rhythm with time and a duration, from the chords, from the riffs, and from the notes, and soon the scales as well. It's all on there. These flashcards are really, really useful to help you learn all this kind of theory. And if it comes up with a flashcard with a question, you answer the question truthfully, and then you press reveal answer, and then you tap how well you did 1 to 5. And the cool thing about it is any that you didn't do so well on, the next time you keep going through the flashcards, it'll bring those to the front. It'll keep bringing them round, so that the ones that you perhaps aren't as used to, it teaches you them. It gets you to learn them by repeating them time and time again. So I hope you enjoyed that. Have some fun getting through those letters. Let me know if you got any questions, and I will see you in the last challenge. Thank you.